All right, guys, what is up? So we are popping over here today, and we are going to be doing a quick playthrough of some of the mixing station and the options. So before we jumped in today, I finished harvesting the perp plants that we had left growing over here, and I ran over to the gas station and we picked up some energy drinks. We grabbed some bananas, some donuts, some Viagra, and some paracetamol. Try to say that word 10 times fast, but some painkillers. And we're going to mess around. I was getting some pretty good comments in one of the last videos about trying to experiment with some different mixes. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to kind of mess around with some of this, get some of these products made. Probably a shorter episode. We're going to just play this straight through. We're going to aim for about 15 to 25 minutes and just experiment with some of this. So we're also going to be looking at some of the effects, taking this a little bit slower and trying to see what all of this has to offer. So our first mix, like I said, was the red balls as well as the perp, and it gave us strawberry sharp, which is going to be causing munchies and athletic. So apparently all of these are different qualities, different things that it can do. So I would assume athletics either makes us run faster, jump faster, or jump higher, I should say, or something like that. So why don't we do a round of that first and see. So that's just going to make it sedating. So if I swap that here, put that there, and then move that in there. So let's try this one out and see what this does. Try to take some of these deals that are coming in. All right, Molly's out of product. We'll have to run over to her in just a second once we get some of this all set up. And what I'm going to do is if there's anything busy work oriented, making some drops or dropping off products or picking things up, I will speed through that here so you guys don't have to sit through it. Aspen Death, that's a gnarly name. I like that. Oh, and that's a passive completion of that quest. Okay, cool. So for this next one, let's start off by mixing it with some donuts. I'd like to experiment with that a little bit. We're going to get this Aspen Death all mixed up too. And that's a super puke to be added. I tell you, you gotta love some of the names of these products. It's actually quite funny. Let's get that super puke added. Let's try that off with some of that. Apparently that works. Alright, so seems like Uncle Nelson wants us to work on getting access to the warehouse so we can start getting up to some harder drugs. Predominantly, I think it's crack is what he has us looking to start. Little pink smegma. Good. Gotta love these names. And this time we're going to go for the Granddaddy Perp as well as the Viagra. So we are going to try out a new mix that we haven't seen yet, and we'll see what the outcome is for this little concoction. Ice cream splooge. I'll tell you, some of these names really are quite funny. We'll throw a couple more pills into this mix, see what we get out of it. Alright, that one's going to give us a dark cake for some Tropic Thunder, sneaking and sedating. Let's get that all packaged up, and then we will end the first night. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually run over. We are going to pay off our debt over here, and then we are going to buy a whole bunch more over here to really get this operation up and moving a little quicker. So we're going to put another order in for as much as he will actually let us buy. Then what we're actually going to do is come in here, buy another tent. Actually, before we even start with that, let's put more money on this card. Let's do the full 1,000 over here. Benji, you got for me, buddy. Perfect. I'll take it. Gonna grab a grow tent, grab like 10 of those, 10 of these, and about 10 of those, just to get us started with this. Like I said in the other one, we're gonna do these deals a little bit earlier, so they are a little easier to keep track of. And as one of the commenters pointed out down below in the last video, actually using the PGR reduces the quality of the item. Again, this is one of those things that really helps when you read what these items do. I got so caught up on seeing that it actually produces more that I either didn't scroll down or didn't read it close enough to see that it reduces the quality of the item as well. So thank you to you, Matt, for pointing that out and bringing that to my attention. While we wait for that to go, let's run over and make our pickup over here. In here we get the result of Strawberry Dick Bud, and we're gonna mix that back up with some bananas and see what the next result is. All right, it looks like we got some Tokyo Shart. Can't say I expected that as our final result, but anyway, yeah. So you can see there the flu medication wasn't actually going to change anything, so we ran over and grabbed some donuts to mix with it. And we're going to see what that is going to be bringing to the table here. It seems like when you mix the flu medication to these products, you're just getting more sedation, but the Granddaddy Perp is doing that anyway, so I'm not really sure if there's a whole lot being added into the equation at that point, but it's something that we will definitely keep an eye on moving forward as we continue to try out new mixes and new concoctions. And here we got the Fat Urkel. Not gonna lie, first time I read that, I really thought it said Fat Uncle and gave me a good little chuckle. But that's a cool little combination that we got out of there. And it's giving us gingivitis, sneaky, sedating, and calorie dense as its traits. All right, and as the night burns down to an end, we're going out to make our sale. First one to Peter for the pink smegma. Schmegma, let me know down below which way you pronounce it. And we're going to make sure that we're accepting new deals as they're coming in. This way we can keep this product moving. Hitting up Geraldine for 4 Dark Cake. Got a really liking the improvements on how much we're selling these items for. We were getting about 70, maybe 75 per item last time. And now each product is moving for a little bit over 100 per, which is a really nice improvement. 2 Aspen Death here. Not gonna lie, that's still one of my favorite names that we've come across so far. And it looks like Trent is actually here to meet one of the other dealers, either Benji or Molly. And then zooming all the way back, we go meet Mick for 2 more Dark Cakes for 200 total. And we are heading back to the room for the night. Grabbing our last mix of ice cream splooge and throwing it in with the bananas as we get ready for our last mix of the night while we are bagging the Fat Urkels into the evening. And in between a lot of these clips, I am making sure to keep up on my planting using the fertilizer, the PGR, and the Granddaddy Perp seeds into each one of these mixes, as well as the 2-use soils. So that one was really funny. Again, some extreme cheese. Some of these names, man, I'll tell you, I really don't expect them. They're quite funny. They're unique to say the least, and I'm not sure if they're random with everybody's mixes. I know we can name our own, and that there's the little dice next to it, but it's very funny to say the least with all of these names that it is generating. And here we're going to run out to make our last deal of the night with Keith, and then we're going to head in for the rest of the night. And with that being said, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who joined us today, who took part in watching or commenting on some of the previous videos, giving us some ideas of the content to push out. I've really been enjoying these, getting a chance to explore some of the mechanics and some of the mixes that are available in the game. I plan on doing another episode like this in the future, where when we have a little bit more to play with and a little bit more to experiment with as we unlock more and more options in order to mix and to have some fun with. I know one of the upcoming ones is going to be some motor oil, so I look forward to being able to really try some new stuff out and get a little creative with it. As I let you guys play out here, we're going to run over and we're going to re-up some of the dealers. We're going to talk to Benji and then sprint over to Molly and just make sure that they are fully loaded, collecting some of the money from the sales they've made today. But with no further ado, I want to say thank you to everybody for hanging around. Leave a like if you liked it, comment down below, and feel free to share it. And I'll catch you guys next time for some more. Peace.